Hi all, welcome to Geneso IT Trainings. My name is Sagar. In this video, we'll be looking at Linux file permissions. It's not just Linux file permissions, we'll be looking at how to change the Linux file permissions using absolute or numeric mode. So this is a continuation for my previous video. Before I do that, I would request everybody to subscribe my channel. Thank you. So in this video, we'll be looking at how to change the Linux file permissions. And I'm very sure all of you might have followed my previous video based on the Linux file permissions. That's the video 1 for Linux file permissions. And we have clearly observed that every file or a directory in Linux will have a ownership, and that ownership is given to either it could be the user or owner, or it could be the group, and it could be others. And every file or directory will have a set of permissions called as read, write, and execute. So this is very important. You got to have a clear understanding of what is read and what is write and what is execute. Read is nothing but where we will be able to view the file contents. Write is nothing but where we will be able to edit the file contents. Execute is nothing but where we will be able to execute the file or a directory to go into the directory or a folder. Now, having said, in my previous class, we have seen what type of permissions are available for a set of files and directories in the Linux server. It's not just understanding what set of files, what set of Linux file permissions do we have for specific files and directories. It's always important to understand how can we change those Linux file permissions. How can I change for a specific file? How can I remove a write permission? How can I remove execute permission? How can I add a read permission? So it's very important, to change the Linux file permissions. So one of the methods that we will try to understand in today's session in this particular video is changing the Linux file permissions with the help of absolute or numeric mode. With the help of absolute or numeric mode. We can still change it with the help of symbolic mode, which I'll be teaching you in my next video. And in this video, we'll be trying to understand the numeric mode, and we'll be trying to change the Linux file permissions. Before I do that, let me log in. Let me go into my Linux server. It's already logged in. So this is my Linux server. So what we will do is we'll try to have a long listing of it. ls-l will display all the list of files and directories inside that particular folder. So these are all the existing files and directories that we have it. And in my previous video, we clearly understood that these files and directories do have a set of permissions, which is nothing but read, write, execute, and read, write, execute, and read, write, execute. And it is very clear that the first 3 characters is for the user or the owner, and the second 3 characters is for the group that this file belongs to, and the last 3 characters is going to be for the other users. Other users are nothing but whoever is planning to or trying to access this particular file. So these are the permissions that are being set. Now, how can we change these permissions? We are able to see here we have some read and write permissions, and here we don't have the execute permissions. The hyphen represents we do not have the execute permissions. Here we do have only one permission, which is a read permission, and after that we don't have write permissions and the execute permissions. And here we do have only read permission, and we do not have write and execute permissions. Now it's always important not just to understand, okay, this file has got these permissions. It's always very important to understand how can we change these Linux file permissions. And we will be changing these Linux file permissions with the help of numerical mode. It's very important, very effective, and definitely some of the interviews also, they would definitely ask you how to change a Linux file permission and what is the command that we use it, and what are the numerical values it holds. So this is a very important concept. You got to stay tuned and make sure you understand the concept clearly. So what I'll do is I'll take a snippet of it. I'll just take a small snippet of this particular page. I'll paste it in the Paint so that we'll be able to write in the Paint. So let me go to my Paint and I'll paste it here. So what we'll do is we'll try to understand this particular Linux file system, and we'll try to understand how can we change these Linux file permissions as well. Okay, so and I'm very sure from my previous video you should be able to understand what is this, what are these characters, and the first character represents the directory. D stands for the directory. The hyphen represents it's a normal file or a regular file, And after that, we do have a set of 3 characters here, and these 3 characters is for the user or the owner of the file. See, the set of this is for the user or owner, and the next 3 characters is for the group, and the next 3 characters is for the other users. And how can we change it? Before changing any Linux file permissions, we got to understand these file permissions do hold numerical values. And what are the numerical values for these Linux file permissions? And what are the Linux file permissions? We do have it. We have 3 types of permissions. The first permission is going to be read, and the read is denoted by R, and this holds a numerical value of 4. This holds a numerical value of 4. And we do have a second Linux file permission, which is write, and which is denoted in a small w, and this holds a value of 2. And execute permissions, execute. This is the third permission that we have it, and it is denoted with the help of a small x, and this will hold a numerical value of 1. So this is very important to understand. Every Linux file permission and whatever permissions we have it, out of these 3 permissions, every permission, either it could be a read permission or a write permission or execute permission, they hold a numerical value. See, look at this. The read permission hold a numerical value of 4, and a write permission hold a numerical value of 2, and execute permission hold a numerical value of 1. What if for a particular file, let's assume that we have a specific file and or a directory. We have a specific file or a directory, and we would like to give full permissions to this file or a directory. We would like to give full permissions to this file or a directory. So it means that we are trying to give read permissions, we are trying to give write permissions, and we are trying to give execute permissions. Whenever we are trying to give full permissions to a file or a directory, if I add all these numerical values, 4 plus 2 plus 1, which sums up to 7. So this is very important. The addition of all these numerical values will come up to 7. This value 7 represents, the file has got read, write, and execute permissions. Now let us try to understand by looking at one example, by taking some example. So what I'll do is, I'll take this example, text1.doc file. I'll take this file, and we'll try to analyze these Linux file permissions, whatever is being appeared here. So what I would do is, let me write these file permissions. We have RW, and the first hyphen, you all know it very well. This is for a regular file or a normal file. And after that we have hyphen and R hyphen hyphen and again R hyphen hyphen. So this is what, the permissions that are being set to this particular text1.doc. And you all know it very well. The first 3 characters is for the user or owner. Owner. And the second 3 characters, and the second set of 3 characters is for the group. And the third set of 3 characters is for the other users. This is for the other users. And we need to understand here, for this user or owner of this file, and you all know it very well, for the text1.doc, root is going to be the owner of it, and this root is going to be the group of it. So this is a owner, and this is going to be this is going to be the group of it. Group of this this file belongs to this particular group. Now observe this. Having this numerical values, now we are aware of every numerical value. For every file permission we have a specific numerical value. So let us try to understand what is this user or owner has got. The user and owner has got only 2 permissions. One is read permission and the other one is write permission, and this hyphen represents it doesn't have execute permissions and no permissions at all. So what is this actually? The read stands for 4, and let's plus it here, and the write stands for 2, and the execute permissions are nothing but 0. So whenever I add all these values, it is summing up to 6. So it means that the user or owner has got 6 as a numerical value. The total numerical value of the user or owner is 6. By looking at the 6 value itself, we should be able to identify, so this user has got only read and write permissions, because by looking at the 6 itself, we will be able to add the read as 4 and write as 2. And look at this group here. the group has got only read and only read permissions available here. So what we'll do is, the read is nothing but 4, and the next value write, it doesn't have a write permissions, and for this group we don't have the execute permissions as well. So it is nothing but 0 and 0. So when we add all these three values, it is going to add a sum up to 4 here. So it means that this particular group has a numerical value of 4. The moment we see this numerical value of 4, we should be able to assume that this particular group has got only one permission, which is a read permission. So the same thing which is going to be for the other users as well. So here, by looking at R, we will be able to understand it is nothing but 4. Here we have 0 and here we have 0. So the moment we sum up all these things, we will be able to get the other users have the numerical value as 4 here. So it means that here this user has got a overall permissions of 6, a group has got permissions of 4, and other user has got permissions of 4. So that is the reason the numerical values are very important to remember. The read is nothing but 4, and write is nothing but 2, and execute is nothing but 1. So this is how you should be able to understand. You should be able to say that this particular file called text1.doc. See, look at this. text1.doc has got a Linux file permissions of 644. See, look at this. 644. These are the values I'm trying to write in. So the moment you see, the first 6 belongs to user or the owner of the file, and the second value belongs to group. So this file belongs to this group, and for this group we have 4 as the permission. The moment we see 4, it is nothing but only read permissions. So this belongs to other users. So this particular text1.doc has got Linux file permissions of numerical value of it is 644. So every file has got a specific numerical value. Based on the numerical value, we should be able to identify whether the owner of a file has got, read, write, execute permissions, or only read, write permissions, or only execute permissions, or only write permissions. So by looking at the values of it itself, so every file or a directory has got the numerical value of file permissions. Based on this numerical value of file permissions, we will be able to understand what permissions are being set to the user or the owner, or what permissions are being set to the group, or what permissions are being set to the others. So let me clear this screen actually. Okay. Now again, look at this. Let me take one more example here. Let me take this directory 1000 and we'll try to analyze this once again. Let me take this one here. Look at this. Or what I will do is, let me take this. Yeah, it's okay. We'll take this as an example. Now, let me take this particular values that we have it. It's nothing but D, which stands for directory, and R, W, X, and that's the first 3 characters. This is going to belong to what? This is going to belong to either it could be the user or it could be owner. And another set of 3 characters is nothing but R, W, X. That's what we have it here. Another set of 3 characters here. So this belongs to group. And the another set of 3 characters is R-X. R-X. So look at this. This is nothing but, this belongs to other users. So what we are trying to understand here, every directory or a file has got a numerical value of file permissions. So how to identify them? So as I said again, the read has got 4 as a numerical value, and the write has got 2 as a numerical value, and execute has got a numerical value of 1. So total together it adds up to 7. So the maximum file permissions that we can set with the help of a numerical value is 7 only. Now look at this. Here I have, for this particular user or owner, we have a read permission which is nothing but 4, and we have a write permission which is nothing but 2, and we have an execute permission which is nothing but 1. When we sum up all these numerical values, it is going to come up to 7. So it means that the user or owner has got 7. So it means that the user or owner has got all permissions. So the user or owner can read the file, read this directory, and will be able to edit this directory, and will be able to open this directory, which is nothing but execute permissions. So again, in the same way, the group also, the group has got here read is nothing but 4, and write is nothing but 2, and execute is nothing but 1. So when we add this total, it comes up to 7. And the moment we look into this, the other users, it has got read is nothing but 4, and this is we don't have the write permissions, which is 0, and we have the execute permissions, which is 1. So it adds up to total is nothing but 5. So what we are trying to understand, this particular directory 1000, has got a numerical value of file permissions, which is nothing but 775. The moment you see this 7, you should be able to understand. So this has got all permissions, which is read, write, and execute. The moment we see this 7, we should be able to understand this belongs to the group, that this file, this directory belongs to this particular group, and the group permissions are being set as read, write, and execute, which is of full permissions available here. And finally, this numerical value belongs to other users, and we should be able to understand this directory has got read and read is nothing but 4 and hyphen and x. So read and execute permissions, only read and execute permissions. This is how you should have a good understanding of read, write, and execute permissions, and in the form of the numerical value, and what are the numerical values of read and write and execute, and how you will be able to understand for every file or a directory what is the numerical value of file permissions that are available by trying to analyze taking the existing read, write, execute permissions. So let me clear the screen as well. Let me clear the screen here, and let me open the slide that we have it. Okay, this is the slide, and let me open the next page. So look at this particular slide. So whenever you see here, sorry guys. Yeah, whenever you see here this 0, 0 represents no permissions at all. There are no permissions at all. So it is nothing but hyphen, hyphen, hyphen. 0 is nothing but we do not have any permissions at all. 1 represents we have only execute permissions. So hyphen, hyphen, x. And here write, 2 represents write permissions, which has got hyphen, w, hyphen. And if you have execute and write permissions, it is nothing but 3. So execute is 1 and write is nothing but 2. So total it adds up to 3. So hyphen wx, this is how it is represented. And the 4 is nothing but read permissions, which is nothing but read, hyphen, hyphen. And 5 is nothing but read and execute. So read and hyphen execute here, only 1. Read is nothing but 4 and execute is 1. We all know it here. So we have read and execute permissions here. So again, we have 6 stands for read and write. So which is nothing but 4 plus 2 is 6. So you will never get other combination of file permissions. Actually, this is the only one set of file permissions that you'll be able to get it. So for 6, we'll be having read and write permissions only. For the value of 7, we have read, write, and execute permissions. Full permissions will be provided here with the help of 7 here. So now it's time for us to understand. Let me log into my server here, or let me open this Paint. I am still in the Paint here. So how can I actually change the file permissions now? We understood that the file permissions have specific numerical value. How can we change it then? Now it's very important. Let us assume that we are planning to change the file permissions to this text1.doc. This particular file I'm trying to change the file permissions. So what I'll do is, these are the existing file permissions, but what I want is, I want full permissions to be added. RWX, RWX, and RWX. So this is what my full permissions are. So what we are trying to do is, for user or owner, we are giving full permissions. For group, we are giving full permissions. For other user, we are trying to give full permissions. And by this time, you should be able to understand, whenever we are trying to give full permissions, so this value is 7, and this value is 7, and this value is going to be 7. In Linux, we have one of the most important commands to change the Linux file permissions, which is called as chmod. chmod and give a space and whatever the desired numerical value of permissions you would like to give it. Now I would like to give full permissions, read write execute to this text1.doc. So if I have to give, what is the numerical value associated to these permissions that I would like to give? The numerical values associated for these Linux file permissions that I would like to give is nothing but 777. So what I'll do is chmod space 777, then the file name text1.doc. So this is how we will be able to modify the Linux file permissions. What if I would like to give? Now look at this. Now let us assume, let us see that, let us see what if I would like to give some of the permissions now. What if I would like to give only read write permissions? So let me take this file 200 here. We have this file 200 and okay, it's already available. Yeah, let's see that. Now what if I would like to give read write and read write also here. Here also I want read write. We don't have the write permissions here. So what I am planning to do is we would like to have read write and read write. So hyphen, what is that we would like to give? Read write hyphen read write hyphen read write again hyphen. So this is what this hyphen is for execute permissions. So read write. For user or owner we are giving read write. For group we are giving read write. And for other users also we are trying to give read write permissions. So whenever we are trying to give read write permissions, you all know it very well. The sum of it is going to be read has got 4 and write has 2 and execute is 0 here. So 4 plus 2 is nothing but 6 and here 6 and here also we have 6. So we will be making use of the command called chmod, which is used to change the Linux file permissions, and 666 and what is the file name we are taking? File 200. Here file 200. What if we would like to give only read permissions for all the only write? Let's assume we would like to give only the write permissions for this file. Only write permissions. So what we are trying to do? This is a regular file and hyphen w hyphen and hyphen w hyphen w hyphen. So only the write permissions we would like to give. And you all know it very well. The write permissions are nothing but 2 and 2 and 2. You can give a combination also. What we can do is I'll change it to read write in the middle. I'll change it to read write. So this value becomes 6 again. So I can give 262 for this file 2. So if I give chmod 262, sorry, file 2. So what happens is here I am going to get file 2 will get the file permissions as only the write permissions for the user and owner, and only the read write permissions for the group, and only the write permissions for the other users as well. So this is how we will be able to change the Linux file permissions. Now we will see them practically going into the server and changing the Linux file permissions. See, look at this. Now what I'll do is I'll try to change this text1.doc, the full permissions I'll try to give it. So how can I give it? chmod 777 and space text1.doc. See, look at this one. So here what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to change this Linux file permissions to instead of this I'm trying to give full permissions to this particular file now. See, observe this. We have this set of permissions. Now after changing it, the set of permissions are going to change to full permissions, and press enter here. See what it is saying. See, it's good that we got some error here, and we need to understand why it is not accepting this command. That's very important. You need to understand here we are working as a Ubuntu user, and being working as a Ubuntu user, you will never have privileges. You will never have privileges to change this file which belongs to which owner. See, look at this. The owner of this file is root, so we will not be able to change the permissions of this particular file because this file belongs to root user. So the owner of this file is going to be the root now. So we do not have permissions to change it. So let us look into this test now. So the moment you see the test, it doesn't have any permissions at all. It means that it was set to 000. Now we will give full permissions for this test file because this file is created by the Ubuntu user only. This file is created by the Ubuntu user. So how do we change it? chmod 777 and test and press enter. The moment you press enter, it accepts this command because Ubuntu is the owner of this particular file, and let us check what are the file permissions for this test file. ls-l. See, the moment we look into it, previously, see, look at this. This has got test has no permissions at all. This file has no permissions, but right now we have full permissions: read, write, execute, and read, write, execute, and read, write, execute. Now, what if I would like to remove for this file? For this file, I would like to remove write permissions. Only I would like to give read and execute permissions. I don't want to give write permissions at all. So what can I do here? I don't want to have write permissions now. So out of total 7 value, so read, write, x stands for 7. I'm removing write permissions. So 2 numerical value. Write stands for 2 numerical value. What I'm trying to do is I'll be subtracting them from the total 7. So it's something like this. So out of this read, write, execute, we are trying to remove this write permissions. So the total value of it is 7. If I try to remove this write permissions, this holds the value of 2 minus 2 is equal to 5. So if I have to add only read and execute permission, I'll be giving the numerical value of 5 here. So chmod 5. The first 5 stands for the user or the owner, and the second 5 stands for the group, and the third 5 stands for the other users, and space test. It's not necessarily ls-l. Let's check this. See, look at this. We have removed write permissions here. It's not necessarily that we have to give 5 all. It should be same. It could be a combination of any numbers here. It could be 5 7 1. Let's see what happens at least. Chmod 571 and test. Let's look at ls-l. See, the moment you see this test file, what is actually happening here? We have 5, and 5 stands for read and execute permissions. That's what we have, read and execute for owner. The first 5 stands for owner, and this R7 stands for the group, and 1 stands for the other users. So 7 is nothing but read, write, execute. Look at this, and 1 stands for only execute permissions. This is how we will be able to set permissions with the help of a chmod command, and with the help of a numerical mode. Using numerical mode, we are trying to set the Linux file permissions. So what we'll try to do is, I'll try to create one directory. Let us look into a small scenario, and we'll try to wind up this video as well. Let us try to look into this small, let me create one directory called as directory 500. I'm creating a directory called as directory 500. ls-l. See, look at this. This is what a directory, sorry guys, touch stands for creating the file actually. So I'll try to remove it, and I'll try to create the directory with the help of mkdir and dir 500 is my directory which I'm trying to create it. Now ls-l. So what is the directory we created? We have just created this directory 500 now. So what I'll do here, who is the actual owner of it? We can see here who created it. The Ubuntu user has created it. So the owner of this particular directory, the owner of this particular directory 500 is nothing but Ubuntu user. Now what we will try to do here is, what I'll try to do is, see, look at this one, look at this read, write, execute. This is for the group that Ubuntu belongs to. Ubuntu, if this directory belongs to this particular group called as Ubuntu. Now this directory belongs to this group called as Ubuntu. That's one thing you got to remember. And whoever comes under this Ubuntu group, they do have what set of permissions? Read, write, execute. Look at this. The group has got read, write, execute. It means that if some user belongs to Ubuntu group, they will have the write permissions. Now look at this. Read, write, and read and execute permissions are available for the other users. So apart from this Ubuntu user, rest every user is going to be the other users. Let us look into the list of all users now. We have one of the commands here. We have one of the file where we can look at all the list of users. cat/etc/passwd and press enter. So look at this. We have Ubuntu as one of the users, and we have Geneso as the user. We have user1 and user2. What is this actually? These users, Geneso, user1 and user2, or the other users. So on this Linux server, we still have these users available where they can definitely access this file. See, these are the other users we have it. Now let's look at ls-l, and these users will be able to, the other users, for the directory 500, they have the permissions. This user one has the permission, or the Geneso user has the permission of read and execute, but they cannot write anything inside this directory. They cannot create any file. They cannot modify this directory. They can't do it. Shall we see this practically, whether we will be able to modify or create anything inside this directory? So in order to look into it, I would like to switch as a user 1, or we would like to switch into a Geneso user. So let me take user 1 as an example. I would like to switch as a user 1 now. So what we will do is, so look at this pwd, all our files and directories are available inside /home and /ubuntu. So what we will try to do, sudo -i, I'll become a root user. From the root user, I'll switch it to the user 1, because root has got all privileges to switch from one user to another user. See, now I have switched, SU stands for switch user. Now I have become a user 1. I have become user 1. So what I'll do is, I'll navigate into /home /ubuntu. This is where all my files are available. ls-l. See, now look at this one. Look at this directory 500. And who is the owner now? Ubuntu is the owner. And this 500 directory belongs to which group? Ubuntu group. And whereas this user 1 is nothing but others, actually, other user. So other user has got what type of file permissions? Only read and execute. It means that the user 1 can log in, can go into this directory. He can view the contents, and he can open this directory also. So let's look into this dir 500. And what if this user 1 is planning to create a file inside this now? Now, being the user 1, we would like to create one file using the touch command. Look at the write permissions of this particular directory 500 for the other users. The write permissions are not provided. Because the write permissions are not provided, the moment I touch file 1 inside this, it will give us the permission denied. So why is it giving us permission denied? Because other users, look at this. These are the other user permissions. They can only view the contents and they can only execute the directory, but they cannot write anything inside the directory. So my requirement is in such a way that I want this user 1 also to write some files, to create some file 1 inside this directory. So what can I do? If you observe carefully, here the group has got all permissions, read, write and execute permissions. The group has got all permissions, which are nothing but read, write and execute permissions. So what I'll try to do here, what I would do is, I'll try to add this user to this group. I'll try to add this user to the Ubuntu group now. Observe this carefully. So how can I add? If you remember the Linux group administration, you will definitely be able to do it. So what we would do is, I'll become the sudo -i. I'll become the root user now. Sorry guys. So simply exit it from here, because you'll become a root user. Simply exit it because it is asking for the password. We are not really touching the passwords and we are trying to execute it. So simply exit here and you'll become the root user. Now what we would do is, with the help of user mod command, -a capital G. So if you're not able to understand these commands, it's okay. Please go through one of the videos, Linux group administration. So there you'll get a clear understanding of what I'm trying to do it. So for this Ubuntu user, I'm trying to add the user 1. I'm trying to add user 1 to the Ubuntu user. Press enter. Now look at one of the file /etc group and enter. The moment you look into it, this Ubuntu is added with a new user called as user 1 here. We have just added user 1 to this Ubuntu group. Now let's switch back to the user 1. I'm trying to become a user 1 again. I'm currently working as a root user. I'm trying to become a user 1. And I'll again go back to the directory cd/home. This is where all my files and directories are. And Ubuntu. And press enter. Let's look into ls. The moment you see ls here, or ls-l, now user 1 is still a other user. But what we have done here, is we have added this user 1 to the Ubuntu group. Now this user 1 belongs to the Ubuntu group now. You need to understand this. The moment user 1 belongs to this Ubuntu group, And this Ubuntu group, see, look at this directory 500. This Ubuntu group has got what file permissions? It has got all read, write and execute file permissions. So the group has got read, write and execute file permissions. It means that even the user one will definitely have the write permissions. So let us check. Previously we were not able to write anything. I'll go into the directory 500, and let's press enter. Let's look at ls and touch file 1. See, look at this now, ls. The user one is also able to create the file. Why is it so? Because the reason behind this is the user one is added to the group called as Ubuntu. So this is the most effective, important understanding and usage of Linux file permissions. What if you would like to change? Now you feel that you don't want the user one, you don't want this user one to create something or to write something. So two things you can do it. You can remove the user one from the Ubuntu group, or you can change the group permissions as well. You can set the group permissions into a different way. So user one cannot set the group permissions of the Ubuntu. So you have to become a Ubuntu user and change the permissions of this particular directory or the files. So let me exit here and let me exit from the root user so that I'll become a Ubuntu user. ls-l. So here we are. And what if, so again, let me make it clear. In order to change the file permissions of it, so what I'll do is, see here, what I'll do is I'll give only read write here, only read here. Here I'll give read write execute. Here I'll give read write execute. So read write, only read permissions and read write execute. So how can I do it? chmod and only read write. Read write is nothing but we have 6 and only read permissions is nothing but 4. So this is for the group, we are adding 4, and finally only read and execute or read write execute, total permissions 7. 6, 4, 7. For which file? file1.txt space file1.txt and press enter. See, look at this. We are not able to do it because it is a this file belongs to which user? Root user. So instead of that, what I'll do is sudo -i or sudo -i. I'll become a root user, and let me navigate to /home/ubuntu. That's where our files are located. ls-l. So what I'll do is now I'll try to change it. So chmod and 647 file1.txt and press enter. ls-l. See, look at this. File1.txt has got executable permissions as well here. Observe this. Read write and read write execute. This is the way in the form of numerical mode or numerical way, we will be able to change the Linux file permissions in however way we want, and whatever permissions we would like to give it. In that way we'll be able to do it. Only thing you need to understand, the 6 stands for owner or the user, 4 is for the group, and 7 is for the other users. So this is what a basic understanding or a clear understanding of how to change the Linux file permissions with the help of the numeric mode. With the help of numeric mode, how can we change it? So I would definitely suggest everybody not just to listen to my class, but I would request everybody to practically check whether you will be able to change the Linux file permissions or not. So based on that, you should be able to get a better understanding and better experience on understanding or changing the Linux file permissions using the numeric mode. In my next video, I'll be teaching how to change the Linux file permissions using the symbolic mode. That's again very important to understand. It's a good thing that you keep learning some more information. So I think I made this video very clear to you. I am really thankful for listening to this video. Thank you so much. So I'll see you in the next video. Will be talking about how to change the Linux file permissions using symbolic mode. And once again, I would request everybody to subscribe my channel. Thank you all.